key here is that the UK is responsible for less than 1% of global emissions.
Because we export a lot of our emissions. Look, there are hundreds, thousands of authorities who are saying no new oil and gas, okay? The people and the institutions who agree that no new oil and gas is incompatible with a safer climate, the International Energy Agency, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the United Nations Secretary, the British Medical Association, Oxfam, the Quaker, I could go on. There are loads.
I got your list. I've got your list. But why not? I mean, why not protest in China or protest outside the Chinese embassy about fossil fuels? Their coal production is going up, 3.2 billion tonnes in 2022, more in 2023, predicted to be 3.9 billion tonnes. So if you want to go and protest about fossil fuels, protest against the Chinese.
But I'm not in China. I'm a resident in this country, and that's why I'm protesting about our government not doing enough. We are one of the most responsible historically, the most responsible for the climate crisis, and that is why I'm using my rights, as much as they're being eroded away right now, using my rights in this country to protest against this government, against new fossil fuels.
Why aren't you protesting China? It's the classic diversion tactic that the press use when it comes to holding our own government accountable for their policies, particularly around climate breakdown. And listen, Emma came prepared. That was an incredibly patient and well-informed response to a very, I would say, bad faith question. And she was completely right. Of course, it makes sense to leverage political power where you are in the context that you know. But also the thing that she said about the historic emissions is completely correct. And it's really relevant to the question that was being asked of her. So let's look at some of the data around this debate, because it is true, yes, that China currently emits more CO2 than the UK. This chart from Our World in Data shows that this wasn't always the case. Per capita, China's CO2 emissions only eclipsed the United Kingdom's this millennium. And you can see how much more we pumped out starting as far back as the 18th century.